someone who's a high achiever, who wants to do things absolutely correctly, maybe a perfectionist, highly responsible, motivated, overachiever even, ambitious, in the best sense of the word. All of these are very good qualities. At the same time, when they are rampant in our personality, when they don't have a balance, a check, so that there's a balance of doing, achieving, and then resting and just being, that's when we run into problems. So often people who exhibit these traits tend to do very well for a period of time without really suffering any of the symptoms or imbalances that occur over time. But over time, there are certain laws, you can say, for health. And keeping an engine running at full throttle 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is ultimately going to run the machine down. With health, if we push ourselves constantly to a certain standard without taking into account that we also need rest, that we also need play, that we also need downtime, that we also need time to do nothing, no results attached, that's what ensures that we're imbalanced. The first step is to recognize, wow, I've really been doing this for a long time and I'm starting to feel that it's not working for me anymore. But I'm still doing it. I'm still on that circus or in that merry-go-round. There's also a moment where we know that we're feeling depleted. We know that we're starting to feel tired and that we're requiring more and more stimulation to keep going, to keep that same level of doing and achieving and accomplishing things. Often people use caffeine. Often people use nicotine, alcohol. So we use the caffeine to rev us up, and then we use the alcohol to slow us down so that we can sleep. And of course, that's very, very self-defeating, because alcohol, in fact, does not cause good sleep. It does the opposite. It interrupts our healthy sleep cycles. But nonetheless, this is how we first start managing the fact that we're not able to sustain what we had been doing. Doing too much exercise, working out excessively as a way of keeping that stimulation high. What happens is that when we're under stress, we release certain chemicals in the body, cortisol, adrenaline, that really stimulate the body's ability to either fight in an immediate crisis or flee in an immediate crisis. So those chemicals are very potent, and they do give us a feeling of a rush, of being hyper awake, hyper alert. And what happens is that we also become used to having those chemicals running in our body, giving us that false sense of being on top of the world. We can even go so far as to say we develop an addiction to our own stress threshold. And when our adrenals or any of our other systems start to give out, we use substances like caffeine to pump it back up again, to give that feeling. We think we're on fire, but actually we're running on chemistry that is hurting us. But we don't see that until we actually hit a wall and have a crash and burn episode. If the constitution is still quite hardy and rugged and needs to first clean out, then I would recommend a detox with some private sessions to address the lifestyle and to address stress management and nutrition to handle the underlying problems that are causing this behavior. Whereas if someone comes who might be drinking, might be smoking, might be taking too much caffeine, but they're quite depleted. The nervous system is really, really run down. The adrenals are really, really run down. They're very undernourished, you can say, or just very weakened. Then the best starting point for those people will be the Balance and Revitalize program, a comprehensive program where they get the supplementation, they get the herbal remedies to start to build up the system before we can address the a detox program. Now, it doesn't mean that they can continue to drink the caffeine and the alcohol. In fact, a very important part of treating stressed adrenals is to reduce or eliminate the use of caffeine, which are very strong stimulants to the adrenal glands.